Hello, everybody. Hi, Megha, Nidhi. Good to see everybody here again at the 5 o'clock live. Hi, Hannah. Yes, today is a very interesting topic. It's just a day before Valentine. So I thought we should talk a little bit about the language of love, which I think we need to understand because we do have loving people around us, and we also want to project ourselves as a loving person. So I'm also going to invite whoever would like to come into the live and share a little bit about their language of love. But I'm also going to be first talking a little bit about the subject. Good evening, Kavita. Prachi. Prachi is here. Seema. Great. Awesome. So let a couple of more people join in. I generally start quickly when I don't wait for people to join in. So let's just wait. Soumya, lots of people here whom I already know. And so that'll be interesting. So you all understand that we all need love, right? Whether it's love of our parents, or it's love of your spouse or a partner or your children. Yes, hi Prachi. So love is a basic emotion and we all need it. And the way we express ourselves actually gets us love. So if I express myself in a manner where I'm rejected, and obviously I can't expect love to come to me. That means the way I express myself will actually determine whether I am going to get love. You agree to that? Do you agree that the way you express yourself will determine whether you will get love? What do you say? Tell me a yes if you feel that the way you express yourself will determine whether you get love. You can just write a yes there. Do you agree to this? Yes, Megha says yes. That the way I speak, the way I show my facial expressions, the way I use my words will actually determine, yes, Kavita, the way I'm going to get love. Now, do you know that love has a language? Love has a very specific kind of language. And so today let us learn and explore this topic called the language of love. You can just make a couple of notes because later on if you want to come in for the live, then we can talk about it. So yes, so some people don't know that there is a language of love. So let me enlighten a few of you here. So let's say when two people meet and are attracted to each other, there are two kinds of conversations that you have. One is what we call overt conversation, right, which you can hear. And one is covert conversation, which you are not speaking verbally, but you're speaking it in your head. Do you agree to this? That you have two kinds of dialogues or conversations that are going on. One is overt, which is something that you are speaking, and one is covert, which nobody can hear you, but it's actually happening in your head. I hope you're aware of that. Seema says yes, absolutely. So there are two kinds of dialogues that are going on in our head. Now, if the heart and the head are saying the same thing, right? The heart is saying, wow, he's so handsome, and the head is saying, I hope he looks at me. And the heart has a wish that he should ask me out. And the whole evening, the person is imagining that this guy is going to ask me out. And in a few days, it actually happens. That means the overt and the covert conversation, the inner and the outer dialogue, have actually been in sync. And so the manifestation starts taking place. So how does love manifest in your life? Love can only manifest in your life if your inner and outer dialogues are in tandem. That means they're complementary to each other. If your inner dialogue says, I don't think he's interested in me, I mean, look at the way I'm looking, or I don't think he really looked at me like that. If there's a little bit of self-doubt that creeps in, then there is conflict. And when there is conflict, then the inner and outer dialogue, or the overt and covert conversations are out of sync, and then manifestation does not take place. Now let us understand whether, let's look at a general conversation and understand what I'm trying to tell you about the language of love. Now let us say there is a conversation between two people, okay? And the conversation could go something like this. The girl says hi in a very shy manner, and the boy says, hi, you're looking very nice in this red dress. And the girl now, in her mind, has an internal dialogue saying, I think red seems to be his favorite color. Has the boy said that red is my favorite color? No. He just said that, hey, you're looking really nice in a red dress. But the girl assumes that the boy's favorite color is red. Now that's a memory, thought that's stored in her memory, created by her own memory, okay, by her own internal dialogue. And the girl says that, actually I thought I would be a little overdressed for our meeting. And now the boy says, not at all, this much you should be able to do. Now the girl assumes that, I think the guy likes makeup. Did the boy say that? He likes makeup? No, he did not. But the girl has inferred that because the boy gave me a compliment that I look really good and I know I'm a little overdressed, but that's fine for him, maybe he likes makeup. Right? That's again an internal dialogue that the girl has created in her head. Now, the boy kind of, holds her hand, and she doesn't remove her hand. So the boy thinks, now the boy infers that she likes physical contact. Correct? Now, the girl feels, okay, he wants physically to be touched, and I should allow that to happen because after all I like the guy. Now this relationship progresses, right? Initially the girl dresses up a little bit, puts on makeup, generally uses the red color, somewhere in her dress, and the guy encourages physical contact, the girl gives physical contact, right? Now let us say the same couple, maybe a few weeks later, or maybe a few months later, they may even get married, and maybe a few years later, let's look at the same conversation and what exactly happens. Okay, how this language of love initially itself was flawed, and that was the reason that this relationship got flawed. So let's see what happens a few years, months later. Okay, the girl is dressed up, maybe she's married already to this guy, and she says hi, very happily, and the boy says, what's this? I mean, you look like a doll. What's the reason for putting so much of makeup? Now the girl is confused. She says, what's the matter? I thought you liked makeup. And the guy says, what? I mean, you can't be putting makeup when we're just going to dinner and we're not going to a party. Okay. Now the boy says, you really made up, what are you wearing? What an outrageous dress this is. And the girl says, but I thought you liked red. He says, yeah, but you can't be having all red clothes. I've never told you this, but you seem to be going all out just buying red clothes. Now the poor girl is really confused because she thought that he liked her made up. He liked her in red. And the girl says, gosh, you've changed so much over the years. And the boy says, no, I have not. And the girl says, yes, you criticize me all the time. I'm no good for you. And the boy says, "Nothing like that." He touches her hands. The girl pulls away and says, "You only want to touch me." And the boy says, "I thought you liked it." Now, can you see what happened? Right? Both of them have been listening to their covert internal dialogues, which have been told to themselves, not to their partners. Now, this assumed, inferred stuff that we tell ourselves, and we believe that is the language of love. And this is exactly why a lot of people who are in love at one point stop being in love years later. Because the language of love that they have has been more to do with them communicating to themselves rather than them communicating to their partners. Got it? Give me a high five if you feel that you've got what I'm saying, or you agree to what I'm saying. Let's have some feedback from your chat. Do you agree to what I said about the internal dialogue, which we infer as the language of love, and actually we do not really communicate to our partner and get the information or the feedback from them? And that's one of the reasons, thank you Ritu, Julina is here, how the mismatch of communication takes place. Now the same thing can happen with a parent. Same thing can happen with your child, with your friend. So please understand this. We love a lot of people. It's not only about romantic love just because it's Valentine Day tomorrow. But the key is any relationship, any human relationship, we have to understand the two types of conversations or dialogues that we seem to be engaged in all the time. Okay? Now, let us look at a slightly different aspect. You've understood this covert and overt dialoguing. Now let's look at something else about the language of love. Okay? Now, the relationships can turn to relationship when we are deluded to think that what we like the partner must be liked by us too. I repeat this. Relationships turn to relationship when we are deluded to think that what we like, the partner must like too. Now, arguments occur when people enjoy different things. Initially, one compromises and we kind of comply with our partner. Okay, if this person wants to go to dinner at this place, I'll go along. If the person wants to meet his friends and not spend time with me, I'll go along. If the person wants to buy a particular kind of dress, I'll go along, right? So this going along behavior that couples tend to do initially without expressing exactly what they want will turn relationship to relationship. So it's very, very important to understand this, that it's not necessary that what you like, the partner needs to like the same. Because if you keep on complying, what will happen is it's going to put you into a lot of pressure, and you will become a yes person. Do you agree that sometimes couples actually have arguments because they are yes men, either the girl or the boy? The boy becomes a Joru ka gulam, and the girl keeps on complying, saying yes, yes, yes to everything because she's scared if she does not comply, she may lose the guy. Now, this is going to turn your relationship into relationship. Another reason why arguments tend to happen. And your language of love is flawed. Okay? Now, the third thing that we need to understand in the language of love is your preference. How do you express yourself? Do you like when people say nice things to you? Or do you prefer that the person gifts you something? These are preferences. Some people like gifts. They feel when the partner gifts them something, it means that they love them. Some people don't like that. They say, what are you gifting me all the time? I want you to spend time with me. That means the language of love for that person is time. Some people say that my partner hardly ever holds my hand in public. I would like that. For that person, the language of love is holding hands. Somebody else may feel that I'd like to have a long conversation with my partner. For that person, the language of love is verbal. So you could have different languages unique to each person. For some people, expression of love is about holding. For some people, the language of love is more about going for a walk. Some people, it's about just watching TV. There are a lot of men, who tell me that I wish my wife would just sit with me and watch a match. Well, for that person, the language of love is that the wife shares that time when he's watching the match. Each one of us has a specific need. There are a lot of men who do housework around, and the wife is very upset about it and says, what are you just keeping pottering the plants and washing the utensils and stuff like that? Go out for a walk. And the guy turns around and says, I'm trying to help you. For that person, the language of love is service at home. So each person has a unique way in which they express their love. There's no standard language of love. Some people want quality time. Some people want to be affirmed, that they're looking good. Some people, when they go to a spa and they come back, like the wife comes back from a spa, she really wants to be acknowledged that, the 3 hours that she spent at the spa were actually well spent. And she's looking at her husband or partner for some affirmation. So you must understand what is your preference, your love language, and also what is your partner's preference or your partner's love language. Once you get this idea, it becomes very easy for you to give your partner that what the partner needs, and it will help the partner to give you what you need. This open conversation, instead of having covert conversation, internal dialoguing with yourself and assuming and inferring many things, it's a very good idea to understand what your partner is wanting and give that to your partner. There are a lot of conflicts that take place because people tell me that, but I don't like that. Because I don't like it, I'm not going to give it to my partner. The partner better get used to what I'm giving him or her. Now, this is again the cause of grief. So I've told you how the language of love actually is created by us. Now let us look at love and feelings. Feelings is not love. Love is just love. It's a noun, right? And feelings are feelings. You can have feelings of love, but there is no love. That can also happen. I feel, gosh, I really like this guy. I really feel for this guy, yeah. And then somebody says, I think you're in love with him. And then you say, not really. I'm not in love with the guy. He's nice. And then after a few weeks, the same friend says, gosh, man, what's wrong? What are you thinking? Where are you lost? Are you lost in the thoughts of that guy? You haven't been thinking of that guy, but suddenly you say, yeah, man, he was really good, no? See the friendly conversation? This friendly conversation is very dangerous because what is not there will be assumed by you. So love and feelings of love are very, very different. Okay? And let me talk to you about the 3 kinds of love. Listen to it carefully. You will learn something and enjoy it also. And maybe look at yourself and your loving relationships. Okay? Now, the first kind of love is between you and an object. Do you have an object that you love a lot? Like your new phone, or maybe your new dress, or just your plants, right? Object love. So there is love between you and an object. It's what I call, it involves actually ownership love. You own that object. It's my phone, it's my dress, it's my house, it's my thing. Okay? So that is what we call ownership love. This ownership love is generally with an object. But now just think, if that ownership love is with a human being, how would it be? If you feel that you own a person, he is mine, he's my husband, you're actually treating him like an object. And you don't want to let him go because the possession of that object makes you feel happy, makes you feel loved. But actually that kind of love is what is very similar to loving an object, right? Ownership love. I'll give you an example. There's a friend of mine, and she's married, of course, for many years, and her husband once came over to our place. Just a second, friends, I need to charge my phone. So just give me a second. Just give me a second, okay? Because my battery is kind of going off, but it should not. Just give me 2 seconds and I'm going to just charge it, okay? Can you just tell me if my phone is being charged, because I'm not able to see my charging here. I can see the green light, so yeah, okay. So this friend of mine, she her husband came over. Okay, thanks, Seema. Her husband came over, and okay, thanks Tanushri. Okay, so her husband came over and he was spending time with us, and she called him up at least 10 times in 20 minutes. 10 times in 20 minutes, as if she was losing an object of love. That's called possession love, ownership love. So you cannot be treating a human being like an object. Such love is detrimental to a relationship. It actually converts relationship to relationship, let me tell you that. Right? So just think of yourself for a second. I'm giving you a second. Think of yourself. Do you treat people around you as if you own them? They should be around you all the time. If they are out of sight, you get nervous, you get upset, you get insecure, and you want that person back into your vicinity, around you, then you feel happy. If you have these kind of feelings, then obviously there can be ownership love, and that can be very, very detrimental to one's life, one's being, okay? Because you're constantly thinking of that person. Where is he not? Is he talking to somebody else? Why is he not picking my call? Right? If you have these kind of statements or questions in your mind, then definitely you have ownership love, which is the lowest category of love that you can ever have, because it's object related. Right? Now let's look at the second kind of love, okay? Between you and another person. That means human contact, I and another human. This involves physical attraction. There's an attraction, and it leads to I, me, and you, like possession. You possess that person. So there is one thing, there's a difference between possession love and ownership love. Owning a person and possessing a person are two different things. When I own somebody, I treat that person as if he is not, he's only mine and nobody else's, right? And I want that person in front of my eyes. When I have possession love, that person, now the object becomes that person, right? And now I want to possess this person. I go crazy. I go crazy about this person. I cannot see anybody else except this person. And that's the kind of love that you see in these movies, you know, when the woman can kill for love. That's the kind of possession love that you have with another person. Where there is physical attraction, where love is more physical, there's a physical chemistry that we're talking about here. There's no emotional involvement with that person. It's more physicality. That's what happens in possession love. And we assume that to be love when it is not, right? The third kind of love is between you and God, which is unconditional, which we call devotion love. Love where there is devotion, right? Now, do not confuse this with, let's say, a woman who's married and is treating her husband like God, right? Sure, you can be devoted to your husband, but then if you have only devotion to your husband, that's great. But if that devotion is going to lead you to being depressed, upset, insecure, then it is not devotion love. It's more possession related love. Okay? If the person, your husband, is only like a money bag, or he's just a credit card for you, then it becomes love, which is the first kind, which is ownership love. So you will have to understand what is love, what is the language of love. With each of these love, the language is going to change, right? When I own somebody like an object, oh, my husband, you know, on Valentine's Day, he gave me this. He gave me this gift. What does that mean? You're treating your husband like a credit card, an object related ownership love. If your husband takes you out for a spa, or maybe Malaysia or Mauritius, and buys you a skimpy bikini or something like that, right? It's more about physical attraction. It's about possession. Looking at you like a arm candy. That's possession love. The language will change there. You know, hi honey, hi sweetie, you're looking gorgeous, you're looking so good, wow. This is the kind of language that people use, which is the second kind, which is more possession love. Ownership love, the language would be more great. Well, this looks really good. Well, that's what I wanted, and that's what you got for me. That's ownership love. It's more about buying and selling. And devotion love is where your partner or your child or anybody else with whom you're having a love-based relationship, it's more about, I feel this for you. You know, gosh, I just saw this and I felt you would love it, so I bought it for you. That's devotion-related love. You're thinking of that person in a very kind, gentle, loving manner when you're buying something for that person. And the tone of your voice will also reflect that when you speak to that person also. Now, I want you to look at your love or romantic relationship, because being Valentine Day tomorrow, just look at your love-based or romantic relationship and notice what is the meaning of love for you. And are you having preference of a certain kind of love that's coming from your partner? So there is something, if anybody wants to join me and talk a little bit about it, I'd love that. I want to know something about me. I'm dealing with a big problem, what to do. So would you like to come in? I can't see your first name, but D Jen. Would you like to come in? You can send me a request and you can come in on the live. Yeah, if anybody wants to join me in the live and talk about a little bit about love and Yes, I'm just overprotective about people I love and not insecure about them. No. If you are overprotective about them, it means that you believe that they cannot look after themselves. And you need to be there. You need to be for them, to protect them. Okay? It means you want to own them in a certain way. You want to be there for them because you feel that they will not be able to look after themselves. So it's like, I'll look after you, I'll take care of you. But there's no need to do that, right? Everybody knows how to look after themselves. Okay, Seema is. Let's have a little bit of conversation with Seema about love and the language of love. Okay.
Hello.
Seema, okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but a lot of external sound there.
Yeah, so I was just shifting. So I'll just static away. Now is it fine?
Great. Yes, perfect. Perfect. Now I think everybody can hear you clearly. So tell me, Seema, about your language of love.
I don't know where my language of love fits in actually, Trupti ma'am. It was so wonderful. I have taken lots of notes actually, whatever you said. So I wanted to share something about non-human love because, as you know, I'm always surrounded by animals, and as you can see, Baba is there. So
Yes.
Baba has always guided me. So I think I have a lot of devotional love because whenever I got betrayed by people, by my exes and everything, so I was very confused. I wish I had met you before. I would have really so stupid. I shouldn't say that word. But this kind of devotional, I think it's because of the karma and debt which we have to fulfill. But love has been a different dimension, and Baba guided me to animals, I believe. So I will like to share with thing that we feel that even plants give you love in a way, and I really love that language. What you say is we feel that it's an expression that we when we express in terms of verbal. And over the period of years, I think Baba and a lot of gurus, I feel I strongly feel that you also have been one of the guiding lights. So I really, really follow you so much everywhere, And because I feel Baba is telling me that, Baba can't come here directly, so Baba is guiding. So I'll tell you a lot of instances when there were a lot of things where I got rejected, and I'm sure that a lot of audience here and outside also, how they connect with animals. So what is I was always thinking, what is यार ये unconditional love क्या होता है? मेरे को आज तक उसका मतलब समझा नहीं, लेकिन but that is something I just feel so strongly when I'm with animals. It is so easy ना मैम कि आप उसको उनको कनेक्ट करते हो और आप उदास होते हो, आप रोते हो तो they understand. My cats also, people say cats expressive नहीं है, and they will come and kiss me on the cheek and go. So I mean, like once I would like to ये मेरे दिमाग में बहुत एक आ रहा है, मैं शेयर करना चाहूंगी. I was very upset. I was in Bangalore. मैंने घर छोड़ दिया था. I was almost like मतलब बहुत disappointed थी in life, no family. I was almost homeless. I was sitting on the stairs and I was praying to God, Sai Baba, कि बाबा ये लाइफ में मैं किस मोड़ पे आ गई हूँ. I am nothing. And you will not imagine that kind of devotional love. एक dog आया जिसको मैं खिलाती थी in that hard times of financial times also. वो नीचे था एंड मैम वो थर्ड फ्लोर पे चढ़ा और मैं थर्ड फ्लोर के ऊपर फोर्थ फ्लोर के सीढ़ी पे बैठी थी और वो डॉगी आके मेरे को, जब मैं तो क्वेश्चन बाबा से पूछ रही थी, तब वो मुझे आके मेरे फेस को लिक करके बड़ा सा प्यार करके वो चला गया. एंड एज इफ बाबा मुझे बोल रहे हैं कि देर इज लव, यू जस्ट गिव एंड आई विल सेंड यू. एंड बाबा ने मेरे लाइफ में, आई हैव 9 कैट्स. मुंबई के जमाने में 9 कैट्स के साथ कौन रहता है? सो ये मेरा एक तरीका है कि, और ये मैंने जब थोड़ा बहुत एनालाइज किया मैम, मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि अगर आपकी श्रद्धा भगवान में होती है तो वो किसी ना किसी रूप में हेल्प करते हैं, हमें रियलाइज नहीं होता है. मेरे लाइफ में जब कभी ये प्रॉब्लम आए, ये 9 या उससे भी ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स आए, तो आई थिंक बाबा ने ये कैट्स मेरे लाइफ में भेजे सो दैट आई कुड फोकस माई एनर्जी देयर, so that I could, not put all my energies into something which was really energy draining. In some way, they were sick cats, so animal rescues and whatever. सो मेरी सारी एनर्जी उसको बचाने में, प्यार करने, केयर गिविंग में ऐसी चली गई ना कि मैं अपना ये भूल गई, यू नो, इन व्हाट दैट थिंग. I think that is sailed through. So it is so beautiful. I really am so grateful to Baba. And yesterday I had this session with Shilpa, Shilpa Menon. Because after I saw her first interview with Purnamada, somewhere I felt Baba is telling you connect with her. You know, and somewhere I felt Baba also told me connect with Trupti ji. So, you know, somewhere, and you will not believe, ma'am, that love is really finds you. Yes, and I, for New Year, I got a lot of books. And yesterday I just went, I was having dream journals, this and that. You'll not believe love finds me like anything, you know. Cats are my spirit guide. So, you know, मेरे को शॉपकीपर ने नोटपैड मैंने मांगा. उसको क्या पता है मैं एनिमल लवर, वो एस्ट्रोनॉट, ये वो कुछ भी दे सकता था. He gave me all cats वाले notepad. He showed me all cats वाले. How that it can happen, he can get from a lot. और सारे cats वाले. You know, so in some way I felt बाबा इज टेलिंग मी दैट डिवोशनल लव समवेयर. मैं बाबा से बहुत बार रूठी भी हूँ, मतलब मैं जब टोटली डेडलॉक हो गई थी. सो फॉर मी, यू नो, आई थिंक कैसा है कि लाइक वॉट एवर लव वी स्पोक अबाउट, you know, as we follow you, you know that this every one of us is on a soul journey. Anyways, this body is going to perish, and we are meeting here. Everybody in a relationship, it's temporary. So somewhere I think, ma'am, honestly speaking from the heart, the devotional love has really helped me sail through any storm. So I just, this is what I felt like. So Baba is always guiding me in some way or the other, telling me signals, you know, okay, whether through I see a lot of numbers, and I see a lot of double, triple numbers. I see a lot of feathers. When I'm thinking about something, कहीं से वो book आ जाता है, बाबा मुझे बोलते हैं कि आपको इसका आंसर यहाँ मिलेगा, you know. There are a lot of mystical things you know happen. I get a lot of nightmares. So a lot of time I have this jap mala, छोटा सा है. So एक बार मुझे बहुत ज्यादा भूत के सपने आ रहे थे, पता नहीं क्या, you know. So सुबह मैंने उठ के देखा कि मेरी बिल्लियों ने मेरा जो जप का माला है, जिसको मैं रुद्राक्ष के गले में कभी कभी पहनती हूँ, थोड़ा मेडिटेशन करती हूँ, मुझे अच्छा लगता है, शांति मिलती है, वो मेरे बेड पे था. तो कहीं से कहीं, यू नो, दिस अ मिस्टिकल थिंग हैपनिंग कि उन्हें पता है कि, यू नो, आई माइट नीड दिस, दैट प्रोटेक्शन और समथिंग लाइक दैट, which really mystically comes. So I feel, you know, people change over the period of time depending on circumstances, but our love for God, you know, He really guides us. He might not come and tell, but He will send people, you know, in some way or the other. So this devotional love towards Baba has really blessed me and guided me to great souls, gurus have really guided me on the path I cannot tell. So that is what I wanted to share, that if everyone can really have devotional love rather than you know, all these kinds of different love which we are saying, we can be better human beings. And I have been more compassionate towards animals, that the work which I do with a lot of things. So I believe this devotional love will really take us so much. We can be so better human beings, like just focusing on one person, this person, that person, you know, and objects and things and labels के मेरे को ये designate, मतलब people love their designations also. उनकी कुर्सी से भी उनको प्यार होता है, जैसे मंत्री लोग होते हैं, you know.
से प्यार होता है, स्टेटस से प्यार होता है ना, फेम से प्यार होता है. These are basically, they all come under objects. You know, they are all object because they're going to keep changing. They're all temporary, right? So the problem is that we invest in the language of love, which is very temporary. And that's one of the reasons that we eventually feel depressed or betrayed, for that matter, because we are investing in another human being who is also limited. So मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ that we are very limited human beings, right? My eyes can see only a certain distance. Ears can hear only a certain sound frequency, right? My physical body can grow only till a certain height, correct? So I can't touch warm things or hot things. I cannot touch very cold things. So even my skin sensation is limited, correct? So I am a limited human being, and I'm expecting love from another limited human being.
बोलो.
How can that limited human being give me unlimited love? No. But we expect that. We expect that तुम मुझे हमेशा प्यार करो. ये हमारी भाषा है. प्यार, जो लोग प्यार में होते हैं ना, उनकी ऐसी भाषा होती है. Please love me. Will you love me forever? love me forever? Will you
I used to say that when I was in love.
will you always think of me? Will you always look at me? It's not possible, right? So the key is this kind of what I call fatalistic language of love is not going to give you any happiness. So change your covert dialogue. And like Seema, you rightly said, the devotion love, which is towards the Lord. You can have Baba, you can have any of our saints and gurus. Even your mentor can be like your guru, right? Because you're expecting unconditional love, and a good mentor can give you unconditional love. But otherwise, all human relationships are conditional. A cat can give you unconditional love. You feed the cat milk, it'll love you. If you feed the cat meat, it will love you. If you feed the cat pedicure, it will love you. Okay? But it will love you. That's all. It will come and lick you. Right? It does not matter what you fed the cat. But for human love, that person is gone, oh, you gave me a diamond ring last time for Valentine. So what are you giving me? You giving me? Oh God, what? Oh God, this is terrible. The bracelet's terrible, tacky. So where is the devotion in this love? Love you forever. You say, no man, I don't want this love forever. Why? Because it was possession or ownership related love. All conditional love. So we have to, and trust me, Seema, and everybody else who's listening, you can continue living with a person, okay, who is not giving you devotional love. That's fine. But you have to live with awareness and understanding that that person is limited with his own limitations. He's trying to make peace with you and love you and keep you happy. And you're also doing the same thing with that person. All right? And you find a middle path. And you have a middle language of love, which is open expression. If you express to the partner, what is your preference? Do you like me if I touch you here, if I touch you here, if I touch you here, if I hug you tight? Ask your partner. Right? If you truly love somebody, then you would want to give that person what that person needs, not what you need. Similarly, you can ask the partner that this is what I want, this is what makes me feel good, right? And the partner gives you that. This mutual exchange of love can be the best language that you can have. Instead of getting yourself limited to gifting or physical contact or going for parties or buying clothes, right? Quality time, one of this. You have to express. If you're able to express your preference, it becomes very easy for the opposite partner. The problem क्या होता है सीमा पता है? प्यार में लोग ये कहते हैं, तुम्हें तो पता होना चाहिए था. अरे भैया उसको नहीं पता, तो तुम बता दो, है ना? But problem है कि ये होता है कि तुम्हें तो पता होना चाहिए था. You are with me for the last 3 years. Even now you don't know me. ऐसी भाषाएं होती है प्यार में. प्यार की.
Ma'am, there is one more thing
Yes, Seema.
Sorry. There's one more small thing I just wanted to share. Is I did a past life therapy with Ankur ji because आप busy थे तभी. So there's a beautiful thing which my spirit guide said. I asked him, now how can I find love? Because as you know, मेरा past जो भी रहा है as a family, domestic violence बहुत सारा. So as a child, मैं always craving for love, attention, love. आपको तो पता ही है, आपके हर इसमें मैं बोलना चाहती हूँ. There's so much because as a child I was so shy, I was not allowed to talk, express. So अभी तो हर मौका मैं लेती हूँ कि मुझे बोलना है. तो मैम एक चीज क्या मुझे ये था कि मैंने उनको पूछा था स्पिरिट गाइड्स को कि हाउ कैन आई फाइंड लव बिकॉज आई हैड सो मच फेल्ड रिलेशनशिप्स एंड हाउ एम आई गोइंग टू फाइंड लव. तो उन्होंने मुझे जवाब दिया मेरे स्पिरिट गाइड्स व्हेन आई जस्ट वांटेड टू कम बैक इज यू जस्ट गिव लव. एंड मुझे समझ नहीं आया और अभी भी शायद समझ नहीं आया एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इट रियली मेंट. But over the period of time, I have just interpreted it like that I am love. God, as we say, the soul soul is fully complete, and we just take this thing because there are a lot of karmic things which we have here and learnings as to grow or whatever. And then I just feel like and when I do work for others, especially जो भी है helpless people or the animals, I really understood that, oh my God, I don't need that love. I'm just full of love. And I just share that things with my friends and everyone. I say that if you want love, just give it. You already have it in you.
Yes,
Just give. And that is how love is in action, bolte hai na? And people feel that love is receiving. You already have love. You
correct.
just have to give in this lifetime. That was such these wonderful learnings. Felt that I feel so sad at 45. I realize this, man. I could have saved so many years of life crying for love.
You have still that many years to. So imagine 45 years of 5 years are going to keep giving. But you've said a very, very beautiful thing. We have to understand that we are consciousness, right? And we have all the divine qualities in us. Okay, when we say the word Aham Brahmasmi, that means I am Brahman. So if I am that, then obviously I have all the divine qualities in me. I don't need it from somebody else to give me, right? Because I have it in me, I can give it to others. And they always say that the more you give, the more you get. So if you keep giving, right, to any and everybody who obviously comes around you and needs it, keep giving. But it's very important. See, the the mind, no, the human mind has to understand that giving doesn't mean without discrimination. You have to discern, right, how much to give that person, right? Don't go all out. Because if you go all out and keep giving, it means you're expressing a lot of kind of neediness in you. People will interpret it as being very needy. You give a lot of love to cats and dogs, that's fine. But if you give a lot of love to a partner who is not yet committed to you, then it is possible that you may be taken for a ride. So along with giving, there has to be discernment. You have to use your intellect also. Otherwise, what will happen is, because of this idea that I'm going to keep giving, you may actually land up in trouble. So it's very important that there is a boundary, and you have to be very careful, especially in romantic love. So when there is romance involved, there is physical attraction, there is physical contact, there is a lot of neediness that you're showing the partner, right? So in these areas, your intellect should not be away. It should be with you. You should be very aware at the same time that you're giving love, right? So because tomorrow is Valentine Day, I want to talk to a lot of young people to make them understand that sure, you may love your partner, but remember that the role that is being given to you, um, just use a little bit of your head also, if you are in a romantic kind of relationship, which is not very committed. And that's where the preference starts coming. Give your partner not what you want, partner wants, and have an open dialogue and open communication rather than a lot of covert communication, because that is not going to help you in a relationship. And most important, don't think you own your partner, because a lot of relationships fail because one partner feels tied down, burdened, feels that he's not free. So you can continue to love, and devotional love is one way where freedom can also be expressed in love. So, love is a very complicated emotion, and the language of love is also equally complicated. But I thought today, let me just open this Pandora's box and make people understand that love has a language, and language is very important for you to understand. So, Seema, thank you for coming in and sharing
Thank you, ma'am.
the wisdom with us. Thank you, my dear. God bless you. And for
Thank
everyone
you.
else out there, I just want to say that thank you so much for being on my live. And whatever I've said today, just think very carefully about this business of love. Okay, are you hurt in love? If you are, then think of the words that you have spoken to yourself about your partner. If your partner is hurt by you, think of the words that you have spoken to your partner. So both covert and overt dialoguing is extremely important in love. And continue being in love with yourself, and continue understanding that love also demands viveka, money, discrimination or intellect. So use both. Both are equally important in this journey of love. Please understand that love, the qualities of divine love, is right inside you. Encourage yourself to experience those qualities so that you don't go running after love, but love comes to you. Thank you so much. Yes, Tanushri, if husband's cheating, should I stay with him? He's not ready to direct clear discussion. Well, Tanushri, that's your choice, right? Whether you want to stay with the person or not stay with the person. But I can only say that you have to evaluate the reason why you're staying with your husband. Write out the reasons why you're staying with your husband. Is it because you're not financially independent? Is it because of your children? Is it because you want a roof over your head? Is it because what people will say? Are you scared of society? What is the reason that you're continuing to stay with a husband who's cheating on you? Once you tick mark, what is it that you want to, what is the reason that you're staying with your husband? Maybe it will clear your head to make you understand what should be your next step. Yes, Shruti, talk to with you, ma'am. I have a question. Sure, can you send me a request, or you want to ask me a question? You can send me a request. You would like to be in the live, then you can just send me a request. Okay, extramarital affairs. Can you send me a request, Shruti? Then I can invite you in the live. Okay, Shruti, I'll wait for you to send me a request, okay? Well, extramarital affairs. Well, extramarital affairs happen because we are out of sync with each other. Like I spoke about preferences, the preference, the love language is not correct. Hi, Shruti.
Hello, nice to meet you. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you too.
So,
So
ma'am, I have a question about like relationship. If I'm talking about relationship, see, ma'am, our partner, मतलब दो personality opposite में attract करती है, right? एक पर्सनालिटी ईमो की ठीक है उसको अपने में रहना पसंद है एंड ऑल दीज थिंग राइट और दूसरी पर्सनालिटी इज लाइक जस्ट एक्सप्रेसिव फिजिकल पर्सनालिटी तो हम उस रिलेशन को कैसे मेंटेन कर सकते हैं एक को बहुत ज्यादा स्पेस पसंद है और एक को कि नहीं यार एटलीस्ट बात तो एंड समथिंग लाइक दैट तो हाउ कैन वी कांस्टेंट हम कैसे रह सकते हैं उस पार्टनर के साथ कैसे उस रिलेशन को हम स्ट्रॉन्ग कर सकते हैं
तो ऐसा है श्रुति, जैसे मैंने अभी बताया आपको कि एक प्रेफरेंस होता है ना? मुझे प्रेफरेंस है कि मुझे टाइम चाहिए अपने पार्टनर का, पार्टनर को प्रेफरेंस कि मुझे फिजिकल कांटेक्ट चाहिए, लाइक आई वांट टू सिट नेक्स्ट टू मी व्हेन आई एम वाचिंग द मैच सपोज, और तुम्हें चाहिए नहीं, तुम ना टीवी बंद करो और मेरे साथ बैठ के बात करो, राइट? तो प्रेफरेंस नाउ एक पार्टनर को ये सोचना पड़ेगा कि ओके मुझे टाइम चाहिए अपने हस्बैंड या वाइफ के साथ में और उसे मैच देखते मुझे साथ में बिठाना है. So you will think that okay, I'm going to sit with my partner while he's watching the match, maybe cook something nice and we can have a good time together. Right? तो इस तरह से हमें देखना है. या फिर अगर आपको क्वालिटी टाइम चाहिए और पार्टनर आपको क्वालिटी टाइम, if he's not giving you quality time, आप ये सोच सकते हो, okay, let me give my partner a surprise. Let me book a table for two at a restaurant and I can send him a message and say, meet me here today, and surprise him by saying, okay, we're going to have dinner in this restaurant. So he will also be surprised and you can have quality time. At the same time, you can have dinner together. So sense of humor is very important in a relationship. जो couple साथ रहते हैं वो साथ में खुश रह सकते हैं. So it's very important to understand that laughter is actually extremely important in a relationship. Because if you can't laugh together on the most stupidest and silliest of things, then बहुत serious relationship में रहना ज़्यादा देर तक may not be good for people. So आपके preferences तो अलग ही होंगे. बहुत रेयरली होता है कि पार्टनर्स एक ही चीज को प्रेफर करते हो, है ना? बट उस वो प्रेफरेंस उस पार्टनर को देना भी जरूरी होता है. And you can tell that person that, look, I like this. Give me 5 minutes when you come back from the office. Only 5 minutes. Can we block 8:30 to 8:45 for me? Whatever you're doing. But problem है कि wives या husbands they expect like 1 घंटा चाहिए मुझे. Yeah. They are not happy with 15 minutes. We have to start small. किसी भी रिश्ते में आपको धीरे धीरे बढ़ना है ना? आपको पूरा प्यार तो एक ही टाइम पे नहीं मिलेगा ना? तो slowly कदम छोटे छोटे you have to take small steps and then only the relationship will start bonding. Because then there'll be trust and the partners will be able to talk to each other. Initially तो होता नहीं है ना? Partners generally वही करते, okay उसको ये पसंद है, उसको ये पसंद है, तो चलो मैंने कर दिया. पर मुझे वो पसंद नहीं है. जैसे मैंने example दिया, of the red dress. The girl is the red dress because she thinks that the partner likes the red dress. ऐसा नहीं है. उसने assume कर लिया बहुत सारी चीजें. So that is why these are very sensitive things, And so it's very important to take things slowly as far as love goes.
So मैम like जैसे आपने बोला कि प्रेफरेंसेस अलग है, ऑफ कोर्स कि प्रेफरेंस अलग है, लेकिन दो अपोजिट जेंडर या फिर वी कैन से दैट दो अपोजिट पर्सनालिटीज जब एक रिलेशनशिप में है तो ऑफ कोर्स एक उतना कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं कर सकता. लाइक अगर बात करें कि हाँ ठीक है, लाइक हमेशा वही पर्सन नहीं समझता उस चीज को, सामने वाले को भी उतना ही अंडरस्टैंड करना पड़ेगा, राइट? सो हाउ कैन वी से दैट टू द पार्टनर और लाइक.
So that's exactly what Seema was saying, that you will have to have what we call devotional love. Giving. Yeah. To increase your capacity to give. आप ये सोचो कि आपके अंदर वो सब डिवाइन क्वालिटीज है जो आप एक्सपीरियंस करना चाहते हैं, और वो पार्टनर जो अलग है आपसे, वो हेल्प कर रहा है कि आप ये डिवाइन क्वालिटीज एक्सपीरियंस कर सके. And you allow the giving nature of yours to be coming up on the surface without expecting that that partner should give the same thing to you.
Yeah,
so that's very devotion comes. यहाँ पे devotional love आता है ना? अगर आप ये कर सकते हैं अपने अंदर की डिवाइन क्वालिटीज को बाहर लाने के लिए, इस पार्टनर को एक मिरर यूज करो.
Okay, how can we like that? मतलब how can we
he is somebody who is there and he's expecting a lot of things from you, and you don't have the thought कि okay अगर मुझे पार्टनर दे रहा है या नहीं दे रहा है, मुझे उससे कोई लेना है, पर मैं देती रहूंगी. क्यों? Not because I'm compromising, no. मैं देती रहूंगी बस मेरे भीतर की जो दिव्य क्वालिटीज है वो मैं बाहर ला सकती.
Yeah, that's very fundamental. Yeah.
Not compromise, adjustment, no. मैं अपने भीतर की जो दिव्य क्वालिटीज है वो बाहर ला सकती हूँ. जैसे तुम्हें बताऊं, लखनऊ में देयर इज स्टूडेंट्स जो अपनी वाइफ के साथ रहते हैं, and I spent one night with the couple. I was in लखनऊ, मुझे फ्लाई करना था, तो उन्होंने कहा आप मेरे साथ आकर ही रहिए, spend some time with me and my wife. So I went over. और नेक्स्ट डे सुबह मैं क्या देखती हूँ कि वाइफ ने पूजा की, और पूजा करने के बाद शी केम टू द लिविंग रूम. उसने अपने पति के पैर छुए. अब ये तो कई घरों में होता होगा, ठीक है, बट द बेस्ट पार्ट वाज पति ने उसके पैर छुए. तो पत्नी ने पति के पैर छुए और आलोक ने पत्नी के पैर छुए. मैं तो देख के दंग रह गई. द काइंड ऑफ डिवोशनल लव जिसकी मैं बात कर रही हूँ अभी, ये मैंने उस कपल में देखा. तो मैं ये कह सकती हूँ कि डिवोशनल लव कपल्स में हो सकता है, उस तरह का प्यार. या श्रुति.
तो मैम हमें लाइक मिरर की तरह यूज करना चाहिए, ऑफ कोर्स यू नो मिररिंग करनी चाहिए पार्टनर की, राइट? कि वो हमारे अंदर है और हम उस चीज को देना चाहते हैं, नॉट बिकॉज कि हम कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर रहे हैं और हम यू नो लाइक कि मैंने तुम्हें दिया, नॉट इवन इस इंटेंशन से, रादर देन हमारे पास है, वी वांट टू गिव यू। या
श्रुति, अगर मेरे पास वो क्वालिटी है पर मुझे पता ही नहीं कि वो क्वालिटी है, तो ये पार्टनर मुझे एनकरेज कर रहा है उस क्वालिटी को बाहर लाने के लिए,
एब्सोल्युटली, या
राइट?
वेरी ट्रू।
So don't use the word compromise, adjustment, but use the word devotion. That will help you.
Thank you so much, and you know, lots of gratitude to you. Nice to meet you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Shruti, for coming. Thank you so much. Okay, friends. So a lot of people, I think, are getting an idea as to what I have to talk about love, the language of love, and we'll talk more about love in our coming lives. Somebody asked a question about extramarital affairs and cheating and stuff like that. It's a huge topic जहाँ पे प्यार कहीं गुम हो जाता है, प्यार रहता नहीं है ना? तो उस स्थिति में प्यार को बरकरार रखना, मेंटेन करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है। पर इसके लिए आपको तय करना है कि आप उस व्यक्ति के साथ क्यों हैं। आप एक लिस्ट बनाइए, आप उस व्यक्ति के साथ क्यों हैं, किस लिए आपने इस रिश्ते को बरकरार रखा हुआ है, and then maybe you can get some insights into whether you wish to be with that person or not. और एक चीज याद रखिए, जब वो कार्मिक रिश्ता खत्म हो जाता है तो इस तरह की चीजें होने शुरू हो जाती है, गुस्सा, separations, cheating, extramarital affairs, फाइनेंशियली आपको सपोर्ट नहीं करना, ये सब चीजें एक्चुअली इट्स लाइक अ प्रीकर्सर to the karmic relationship getting over, and then the two people walk on different paths. But that's a different subject. It's on karma and karmic equations that couples have with each other. So I just want to share with everybody that I'm going to have my past life workshop, the first one this year, from February 21st to the February 28th. It's an 8-day workshop, 3 hours every day, and it's on past life, and a number of sessions are going to be done in groups, of course. And if you wish, you can join this beautiful workshop over Zoom. It's 3 hours every day. We have groups, group work, we have dynamic work that's going to be done. And you can get some insights into your past life, connect with your partner in your particular relationship, fears, talents, and wound work will be done. So you can go on my Instagram page and you can look at the poster that's been put up, or I can put up the poster again on story so that you have the poster now. And if you wish, you can join the workshop that is going to be over Zoom, February 21st to February 28th. Every day, 3 hours, 6 to 9 p.m. That's the timing of the workshop. So thank you for being here in the live, and continue being in my live 5 o'clock every Sunday. Next week, we have another wonderful guest who's coming in, Apurva. Apurva Saxena is going to be joining us. She has a yoga studio in Delhi, and she's going to be throwing light on yoga and the way she works with yoga. So be there next Sunday, 5 o'clock live, and meet Apurva, talk about the yogic well-being. So that's for next Sunday. But do check my Instagram page and look at the workshop details that I'm just going to be putting up on my story. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you all.